I don't want to offend any women with this video, but if the shoe fits, wear it. And if the shoe doesn't fit, don't get offended and acknowledge that men have it rough these days when it comes to marriage and divorce. I grew up thinking the majority of people were capable of having a happy, lifelong commitment, marriage, relationship, whatever. I mean, I grew up in a pretty religious area, so it was pretty common for most. But as an adult now, I'm seeing the majority of people are completely incapable of having a healthy relationship. It's probably 95% of people are too toxic to have a lifelong commitment. And the way our culture is now, women see themselves as this prize men need to compete for, and we're nothing but a resource to them. Once they marry us, they don't care if we stay. I don't know a single woman who cares if her husband stays or goes. I don't know any who would be sad if they lost their husband. My grandparents were all miserable growing up. All they did was nag. I thought my parents were a good example. They gave me hope. They seemed happy. But now that I'm older, I have found out how much they were hiding, and that they hate each other now. I mean, they're in their 60s, but they barely talk. My dad started sleeping in a different room 20 years ago. They should have got divorced 20 years ago after the last of us kids was out of the house. So since I graduated high school 20 years ago, all I've seen from my friends is divorce after divorce. Everybody I know is divorced. Everybody's paying child support. Luckily, I don't have any kids. I don't ever plan on getting married again. I think American culture is horrible. I think that women don't value relationships. I think, there's problems with men too, but for the most part, what I see is men, we're the romantic ones. We're the ones who want a marriage. We're the ones who want a family. We're the ones who fantasize about doing things with our wives and growing old together and being happy. And women, I don't know, they want kids, but they don't give a crap about a husband. They just want him to pay the bills. And from a legal standpoint, there is nothing but downsides for a man to get married, because a woman, when I got divorced, I made 80% of the household income, but it's a 50-50 state. And they kept using the word equitable. They say, we don't talk about fair, we use equitable. And I said, how's it equitable to take 50% when you only contributed 20%? How's that equitable? She was just my roommate for 5 years. She was a crappy wife. We didn't have kids. She just lived in my house for 5 years and got to walk away with all my money. She came up huge after a 5-year marriage, where she would have had nothing had we not got married, because she had a crappy job. So how does any of that make sense? So to anybody out there who hasn't been married yet, don't marry an American woman, and you probably shouldn't get married at all.